Good morning, students. Today we are going to see chapter number 5 of economics, that is cost of production and concept of revenue. Okay, so let us see, we'll start with the introduction. The concept of cost and the concept of revenue is really very important to understand the behavior of firm. As there is change in the quantity of production, there is change in the total cost of production. Okay, so we can say the quantity of production is the quantity of production changes, then it also changes the total cost of production. The concept of production and the concept of revenue is very important to understand the behavior of the firm. As there is change in the quantity of production, there is change in the total cost. The cost we come to know from the debit side, and the revenue we come to know from the credit side. Cost means the expenditure and revenue means the income. Okay, so the concept of revenue and cost determines the normal production level. Okay, so the cost of production and concept of revenue is important to understand the behavior of the firm. Okay, so why it is necessary to learn the concept of production and concept of revenue? Because it helps us to understand the behavior of the firm. As well as the quantity of production increases, there is change in the cost, there is change in the total cost. Okay, the costs of the business unit we come to know from the debit side of all the accounts prepared, and the revenue that is of the business unit we come to know from the credit side of all the business accounts that are made. Now, why cost of production and concept of revenue are important? These are the 7 points which proves that why this cost of production and concept of revenue are really very important. Why they are important? First one, helps firm to decide price of the commodity. Yes, the concept of production and revenue helps the firm to decide the price of the commodity. Second, provides guideline to maximize the price of the firm. Third one, managerial cost is useful to explain maximum profit. Now, what is managerial cost? That we are going to see in the further chapter. They have given what is marginal cost, but right now you remember marginal cost is useful to explain maximum profit. Fourth one, concept of marginal cost is helpful to understand the behavior of a firm. Concept of marginal cost is helpful to understand the behavior of firm. Fifth one, concept of cost and revenue play an important role in taking decisions like what amount of factors should be invested by the firm, how much employment should be given, what amount of production and investment should be done. So this all decisions we can take with the help of concept of cost and revenue. Sixth one, concept of opportunity cost is important to know the alternative uses of factors of production. Okay, the concept of opportunity cost is important to know the alternative factors of production. And seventh one, concept of monetary cost is useful to give guideline for the administration of a firm. So, they have written, due to above mentioned causes, it is important to study cost and revenue of a firm. So, now you got it, why it is important to study cost of revenue and cost and revenue of a firm. Because if we study cost and revenue of the firm, there are so many advantages of it. We can get so many benefit by studying the cost and revenue of a firm. Whenever any good or services are produced, it will incur the expenditure. That expenditure is known as cost of production. Okay, whenever any of the goods or services are produced, it is going to incur expenditure. That expenditure is known as cost of production. So now what we are going to study? Now we will study different concept of cost of production. Okay, so let us study various concept of cost or various concept of cost of production. First of all, real cost. Now the concept of real cost was given by classical economist. Okay, they had presented this concept taking into consideration only factors of production, that is and uh, land and labor. But in modern times, this concept is considered taking into consideration also the capitalist and entrepreneurship. Okay, so that you should understand. The concept of real cost was given by classical economists. They had presented this concept in context of main factors of production, that is land and labor. But in modern period, okay, we accept this particular concept and we take into consideration not only land and labor but also capital and entrepreneur. Okay, now what is real cost? Okay, they have given over here what is real cost. According to Marshall, the laborers, capitalist and entrepreneur who are involved in the process of production bear psychological and physical burden. Such burden is called as real cost. What they have written? According to the Marshall, the laborers, capitalists and entrepreneurs who are involved in the process of production bear psychological and physical burden. Such burden is called as real cost. Okay. Money spent by many producers for production work of goods is not only production cost. Okay, money spent by the producers for production work is not only the production cost but the fatigue. Meaning of fatigue, extreme tiredness. Okay, but the fatigue, boredom, tension, stress faced by the laborers. The capitalists who sacrifice their savings and capital face anxiety, insecurity are included in the real cost. So, what is real cost? Not just the money that is spent by the producer to do the production work. That is not only the production cost. Okay, but when the laborers are working, they go through tension, they go through boredom, they have stress. Okay, they have extreme tiredness. These are faced by the laborers. The capitalists who sacrifice their savings and capital face anxiety and insecurity. So, this all are included in the real cost. Now, real cost means what? Real cost means stress, tension, anxiety, boredom taken by the laborers, capitalist, okay, as well as the producer. So, can we calculate them? Can we measure fatigue? Can we measure? It is very difficult to measure psychological concept. That is why real concept cannot be measured in monetary terms. Real cost cannot be measured in monetary terms. Therefore, real cost is also called as non-monetary cost. Okay, real cost cannot be presented in monetary term. Therefore, real cost is also called non-monetary cost. And it is very difficult to measure the real cost. Okay, now if they are going through fatigue, if they are going through boredom, if the producers is also facing some psychological stress and pressure, if the investors, okay, that is the capitalists, are also going through anxiety and insecurity, why they are taking so much of psychological and physical burden? Because they are going to get the return back. Okay, the laborers will get the wages, the capitalist will get the interest, and the entrepreneur, that is the producer, will get the profit. So, that what they have written over here in the last two line. Professor Marshall says the factors of production face this real cost. Factors of production means the labor, producer and the capitalist face this real cost. To why they face the real cost? To attract them return, because they are attracted towards the return which is given in the form of wage, interest and profit. Wage for the laborers, interest for the capitalist or investors, and profit for the producer or entrepreneur. Okay, so why they are taking so much of tension, stress, boredom, anxiety, insecurity? Because they are getting something in return. That is why they are taking this real cost. Okay, problem in measuring real cost. As I told you, real cost includes fatigue, boredom, pain, sacrifice, anxiety. Now, these are all psychological concepts which are very difficult to measure. Okay, that is why it is very difficult to measure the real cost, or almost impossible to measure the real cost. That is why it cannot be measured in monetary terms. That is why real cost is also called as non monetary cost. So that is problem in measuring real cost. Second one that we have is opportunity cost. Now, first of all, who has given this concept? The concept of opportunity cost was first presented by Austrian economist, but it was properly presented by Marshall. Okay, the concept of opportunity cost was first presented by, he was the first one who presented this concept, that is Austrian economist, but it was properly presented by Marshall. Okay, so who has given the opportunity cost? Presented, the first one to present it was Austrian economist, but who presented it properly? Marshall. Okay, now let us go to the opportunity cost. They say each and every factors of production have alternative uses. Alternative uses means more than one use. Okay, each and every factor of production have alternative uses, that is more than one use. Now, out of all alternative uses, one best use we have to select, and other use have to be left out. The other uses which are left out is called as the opportunity cost. Okay, from all the alternative uses, for example, we have 1000 rupees. Okay, and you go to the shop, you like a t-shirt of 1000 rupees, you like a pant of 1000 rupees, and you like a dress of 1000 rupees, all is of 1000 rupees, but you have only 1000 rupees. What you will do? Out of 3 you have to select any one. So you decided that you will take a dress. Okay, so what you left out? You left out to buy the t-shirt and pant. Okay, so that left out, that is t-shirt and pant, that was the opportunity cost. Okay, but you selected the dress. Understood? Okay, for example, there is a piece of land. On that piece of land you can either grow wheat, or you can either grow rice or other food grain. You cannot grow all the food grains together. Okay, and if you have decided to grow wheat, then you can only grow wheat. Okay, then what were the opportunity cost? To grow rice or the other food grains were the opportunity cost. In the same way, if you are working in a textile mill, okay, then at the same time you cannot work as the clerk in any other factory. You can work only at one place. Yes, you have the opportunity cost. You can work as a clerk, you can work as the teacher, you can work in the textile mill, but you choose to work in the textile mill, then you cannot work as a clerk and a teacher at the same time. Okay, so you lost that particular opportunity. So that is opportunity cost. They have given meaning and explanation of opportunity cost. They say that you have one piece of land, on that you can grow wheat or you can grow rice. Okay, if you grow rice you will get 3.5 lakhs rupees, and if you grow wheat you will get 2 lakhs rupees. So we are a rational human being, we are selfish, so what will grow? Obviously we will go rice. We are getting 3.5 lakh. So what was the opportunity cost? The opportunity cost was wheat. Okay, if you had grown wheat, you must have got 2 lakhs rupees, but you have chosen to grow rice to earn 3.5 lakhs rupees. So that is the opportunity cost. Now, problems in measuring opportunity cost. First one, factors with one use. Factors with one use, yes, any factor of production which have only one use, which don't have alternative uses, then how we can find out the opportunity cost of that factor of production? Okay, so if any of the factor of production has only, if any of the factor of production has only one use, then it doesn't have the opportunity cost. Okay, for example, there are certain piece of land which are infertile. So on the infertile land we can only grow rice, sorry, we can only grow grass. We cannot grow any food grain. So it doesn't have any opportunity cost, because that particular land is infertile, it is full of stones. Okay, pathरीली जमीन. So we cannot grow anything over there. It just produce grass. It will not have any opportunity cost because it don't have any alternative uses. In the same way, unemployed person, a person who is sitting at home, who doesn't want to work, who is unemployed, okay, so he doesn't have any alternative uses. So we cannot find alternative cost, we cannot find opportunity cost also for unemployed person. Okay, so that is factor with one use. Factor having specific use. Okay, some of the factors of production have specific use, so they can be used only for that, they don't have alternative uses, they can be used only for that purpose. For example, mixture. In mixture we can grind everything. Okay, we cannot make roti, we cannot make vegetables. Okay, it is only used for grinding, so it is having only one specific use, so it doesn't have other opportunity, it will not have other opportunities or other alternatives. So how we can calculate the opportunity cost for a factors of production which is having only one specific use. Okay, so these are the problems in measuring opportunity cost. For those factors of production which have only one use, we cannot calculate the opportunity cost, and the factor of production which have only one specific use, for them also we cannot calculate the opportunity cost. So these are the problems in measuring opportunity cost. Now monetary cost. First of all, what is monetary cost? Monetary cost is the cost of production. Okay, the cost of production to produce the goods is called as monetary cost. It is given behind, turn the page, here it is given. See, the cost of production in terms of money is known as monetary cost. Okay, to produce the goods or services, what was the cost? That is called as, that is known as the monetary cost. And why it is known as monetary cost? Because the cost of production is measured in terms of money. Okay, so cost of production in terms of money is known as monetary cost. Example they have given, if a factory producing pens incur the cost of rupees 50,000 to produce 1000 units of pen. So the monetary cost of producing 1000 units of pen was 50,000. So what is monetary cost over here? 50,000. 50,000 is a monetary cost for producing 1000 units of pen. Okay, so cost of production in terms of money is called as monetary cost. Now what they have given, let us see. The concept of monetary cost is useful in economic analysis to make decision related to production and also to determine the price of the product. Why the monetary cost is only taken into consideration? Because real cost and opportunity cost have many limitations. They cannot be calculated easily. It is difficult to calculate the real cost and opportunity cost. Whereas the monetary cost can be calculated easily as it is calculated in terms of money. Okay, that is why monetary cost is taken into consideration while doing economic analysis, by deciding about the production, while also for deciding about the price of the real cost. Sorry, also deciding the price of the commodity. Okay, so monetary cost is really very useful for analysis, for economic analysis, for decision related to production, and even and also for the price determination, deciding the price of the product. Okay, why only monetary cost is important? Why not the real cost and opportunity cost? Because real cost and opportunity cost have many limitations. We cannot calculate the real cost and opportunity costs easily. There are many problems in calculating the real cost and opportunity cost. But the monetary cost can be calculated easily because it is calculated in terms of money. Okay, so it is easy to calculate the monetary easy to calculate the monetary cost. Okay, that is why monetary cost is important. So here we complete with the monetary cost. Monetary cost doesn't have any problems in calculation. They have not given anything, right? Okay, so in short, monetary cost don't have any of the problems in calculating it. Okay, because monetary cost is calculated in terms of money, so it is easy to do the calculation. So that's it. So here we complete with the various concept of cost, that is real cost, opportunity cost and monetary cost. That's it for today. Now on Monday we will see short term and long term periods in economics, classification of production cost, in that we will see the fixed cost and average fixed cost. Okay, thank you.